Katie, stop!
He couldn't outrun the jeep, so he slashed the tyres. The village, of course. He'll be looking for transportation. He didn't have time to go far. He has to be hiding here. Someone has to have seen a stranger.
Excuse me, did you see a man run by here?
طبعا أنا شايفه. البرتقال بتاعي كان جاري بسرعة ورماه على الأرض.
Which way did he go?
من هناك لاقيه واديهولي بالشلوت.
Oh, I don't know what he said, but I think he's rooting for me. Come to me, moustache. Don't be shy.
Excuse me, did you see a man run by here?
راجل كان بيجري؟ شفته راح من هناك.
Another little treasure for my collection. I seem to have gained a moustache.
Excuse me, did you see a man run by here?
راح من هناك.
Come to me, moustache. Don't be shy. This record is perfect for my collection. Come to me, moustache. Don't be shy. What have we here? An interesting discovery.
Hello, miss. May I help you?
I hope so. I believe a man came in here a few minutes ago.
This is an official office for the mail. Who are you to ask me about other customers?
Oh, we work together. I should have made that clear.
You work together, I see. Yes, there was a man.
He left you a message, I believe?
That's correct.
I must see it.
For what reason?
I think there's been a mistake.
I absolutely need to check.
Unfortunately, it's too late. I've already sent it.
All the more reason to check. If incorrect information was sent, I need to know immediately. My job may depend on it.
I am sympathetic, miss. The thing is, in these troubled times, we must all look out for one another. You understand? I have a family to feed.
I have very little cash on me. I'll make sure a colleague is twice as generous next time.
I'm sorry. Twice of nothing is still nothing. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Wait!
I'm not through with you yet.
Damn it!
Are you mad?
Well hidden, but not quite well enough. Riquetti is laying low somewhere nearby. I need to find him before he disappears again. It's surprising he didn't use their message encryption system. He's scared. I like him scared.
What's this story about a red salamander?
I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone.
Never mind, I'll manage on my own. Thanks for your cooperation.
The red salamander! I found the hideout! I'm sure Riquetti's there. At last, it's payback time.
Stop!
Not on your life!
Crap! Ricchetti, give it up. You're trapped.
He is injured. He won't get far.
It's over for you. You've killed all you're going to kill.
I didn't kill that servant, and I didn't kill that stupid rich bitch. Why would I? I barely knew them.
Cut the crap. I know you're the spider. And Emmy Duns. Maybe you barely knew her too? You just killed her for the thrill of it?
Duns? Name doesn't ring a bell?
August 3rd, 1974 in London. You shot her in the street because she had enough evidence to close down AWL.
Ah, the Chinese restaurant here. Is that what this is all about? She was snooping around too much for some friends of mine to let her continue. A friend of yours?
She was much more than that, you bastard.
Listen to me. It was a simple contract. Nothing personal.
Who at the Spire ordered the murder?
All I can tell you is that Kapoor alerted us that your girlfriend was threatening the organisation. They sent me.
Who is they?
They didn't sign a purchase order.
In that case, what? Am I going to have to settle for you? That suits me fine. At least I'll have avenged Emmy.
Do what you think is necessary. I can't stop you now. But know that I'm sorry for your friend. It was just business. It wasn't personal.
Get up.
Can't do it alone.
I said, get up.
I see. Tough as nails. Ow.
All right, lead the way. And do me a favour. One false move. Give me one good reason to end your days right now. Where's Ricchetti? He was right there. He's gone. I'm sorry, Mr. Poirot.
Of course. Miss Royce, good luck.
But what is going on? Another murder?
Oui, monsieur. Another murder. And for the second time, Poirot has arrived too late. Focus, Poirot. Summarize what you know. First, Mademoiselle Bourget was slashed by a thin, extremely sharp object, possibly a scalpel. Then we have a torn piece of currency found clutched in her hand. Next, we have a ribbon from a bundle of $10,000 notes found on the floor. Finally, there is a telegram intended for Monsieur Riquetti among the victim's belongings. A telegram that was very incriminating for him. These tell a story. Possibly more than one. Time to put the pieces together. Tell me, Tarek, what were you doing at the time of Miss Bourget's death?
I was on the deck near the gangway. The captain had asked me to stand guard.
And you didn't see anything unusual or unexpected?
Not really. I saw Mr. Hayashi and Mr. Allerton leave the saloon together. Mr. Hayashi called out to me to ask if I wanted to play billiards, but I declined. After all, I was on duty, no time for games.
Well hidden, but not good enough for Poirot. A thin weapon, very sharp, has slit the throat, possibly a scalpel. A torn piece of a $100 note in her hand. A ribbon for bundling stacks of notes. There must have been $10,000 here at least, but the money is missing. This is where I found Mr. Riquetti's encrypted telegram. What have we here? An interesting discovery. Mr. Hayashi, what can you tell me about Mademoiselle Bourget's death?
Let me see. I spent the afternoon playing billiards with Tim. Miss Bourget was reading in a corner of the saloon. When you summoned Tim, I went out with him to find someone else to play. Miss Bourget was perfectly fine when we left her.
And then?
Outside, I saw the steward, Tarek, on the deck. I asked him if he could play, but he was on duty. I kind of expected that. Then I saw Mr. Riquetti on the bow. I went over and asked him if he was up for a game. We chatted for 10 minutes or so. He finally agreed to play. We went back to the saloon together and that's when we found Miss Bourget dead.
Yes. Yes, precisely what I thought. Every question must have its answer. Absolutely. A doctor's kit would undoubtedly contain a scalpel. Possibly more than one. And in fact, this was confirmed by Miss Royce, who searched his cabin. I'll need to question him. Who is the world's greatest detective? Chapeau. Excellent detective work. Naturally. Correct. It's at times like this when I miss my good friend Hastings. Miss Royce would be a good choice, but alas, she pursues her own destiny just now. You will have to do.
What? What do you mean?
Your job is to listen. Follow my reasoning closely, if you can. I know that Louis Bourget wanted to blackmail Mr. Riquetti with his telegram. But I also know that you, Tarek, and Mr. Riquetti have alibis. None of you could have killed Mademoiselle Bourget. Yet, there was certainly a tidy sum paid for blackmail. Where could that money be now?
Very well. Let me think. Well, it seems obvious then that Louise was blackmailing someone else.
Excellent. Indeed. Louis Bourget must have been blackmailing both Riquetti and another person on his boat, connected to another case. Which one?
The murder of Mrs. Doyle?
Exactly. The victim of the blackmail could have simply paid. But if their secret were ever revealed, they'd risk the death penalty. They couldn't take that chance. But what had Louise Bourget discovered?
Louise had discovered the identity of the murderer.
Precisely. Louise knew who murdered Mrs. Doyle. She wanted to blackmail that person instead of telling me. Instead of getting paid by the killer, she paid with her life.
But what about Riquetti?
I'm afraid Miss Bourget saw the rewards of blackmail, but not the danger. She must have planned to blackmail Riquetti as well. But she was killed before she could.
Of course. You're right, Monsieur Poirot. It's brilliant.
Yes, I know. Clearly, the deaths of Mrs. Doyle and Miss Bourget are connected. It's possible that the same person murdered both women. Investigating Mrs. Doyle's death will surely lead me to Miss Bourget's killer. Mr. Tarek, could you move the body to the cold storage in the hold?
Do what? Yes, sir. Forgive me. The usual request I expect to receive is more like, may I have another glass of wine?
It's time for me to speak with Dr. Bessner. Dr. Bessner, sorry to disturb you. Mr. Doyle, how are you?
My leg is in pain, but Bessner has some marvelous little pills in that bag of his that help.
His condition has worsened. He has a fever. We really need to get him to the Aswan hospital as soon as possible.
Yes, it won't be long now. We're waiting for Miss Royce to return before we leave. In the meantime, could you show me your scalpels, please? I want to see if you might be missing one.
Missing one? I assure you I take great care of my instruments.
Louise Bourget was found with her throat slashed by a small, thin, sharp weapon. Probably a scalpel.
Do you think I, Carl Bessner, who is so well known all over Austria, I, with my clinics, my highly born patients, I have killed a miserable little femme de chambre? Ah, but it is ridiculous, absurd what you say. None of my knives are missing, not one, I tell you. They're all here, correct in their places. You can see for yourself.
A stethoscope is nothing unusual in a doctor's bag. A blood pressure monitor is a necessary tool for a doctor. Nothing unusual about it. As expected, a scalpel is missing. Dr. Bessner, you are missing a scalpel.
Was? This insult to my profession I will not forget.
Whew, you've put the old boys back up.
Ah, there you are, Monsieur Poirot. It is most important. I have vital information. Mr. Doyle, I know who killed your wife.
What?
My theories are completely vindicated. The deep, primeval, primordial urges. It may appear impossible, fantastic, but it is the truth.
Do I understand that you have evidence in your possession to show who killed Mrs. Doyle?
Certainly I have. You will agree, will you not, that whoever killed Louise Bourget also killed Lynette Doyle? That the two crimes were committed by one and the same hand?
You mean you have a theory as to who killed Louise Bourget?
No, I have exact knowledge. I saw the person with my own eyes.
For God's sake, start at the beginning. You know the person who killed Louise Bourget, you say?
I will tell you exactly what occurred. I went to the rooftop bar to get, something to help me sleep. I did not wish my daughter to know of it. She tends to disapprove. As I was saying, I was on the terrace when I saw. I didn't think anything of it, of course. But when I learned that Louise had died in the saloon, I understood everything.
Maybe you understood, but I can't understand anything. Calm down. Start over from the beginning. In detail.
Yes, yes. As I was at the top of the terrace stairs, about to go down, I saw the murderer. It was...
Good heavens, Poirot. What's going on?
Did you see anyone run past just now?
No.
Don't move from here. The murderer has vanished. Again.
Another murder? Who was it this time?
I'm sorry.
My God. Mother!
What did you see?
Nothing. I was looking at the Nile on the other side of the starboard deck. I heard a gunshot and rushed over. Probably not the smartest move.
Did you run into anyone?
No, no one. Why I was running towards someone firing a gun, I'll never know.
If the instinct overcomes you again, I would resist it. And you, Mrs. Allerton?
I was reading in my cabin. I heard the noise and peeped outside. I wish I could help, but I saw no one.
Thank you, madame. Come to Poirot, my little wonder. Did you see anything?
No. I was in your cabin with Rosalie, as you had requested. We were talking when we heard the gunshot. Rosalie went white as a ghost and rushed outside. I followed her.
I heard the shot, shouting, and went out, but I didn't see anyone either.
It's horrible. Poor Rosalie.
Yes, this cruise feels less upon the Nile and more upon the river Styx. The barrel is still warm. It's definitely the murder weapon. I've seen this pistol somewhere before. Did you witness anything that may help?
You may not believe me, but after your outrageous accusations, I went to calm down on deck. I was at the stern, alone, when I heard the gunshot. I couldn't see anything from where I was. These ladies then arrived.
Yes, we heard the shot. We came to see what was happening, and now there's another dead body. I have to get off this boat.
Calm down, Cousin Marie, please! We were together, coming up from the lower deck. We didn't see anything at all.
Miss Otterborn, I share your sorrow. I will need to examine the crime scene. Perhaps some fresh air would do you good? A bullet to the head. Behind the left ear, a large caliber. She died instantly. Another life gone on this cursed boat.
What a horror! You were close to the door, and you really didn't see anything?
No, not even a shadow.
Poirot, I beg you, do something!
Another murder. The killer laughs at Poirot. It is a nightmare. Miss Royce told me she saw this pistol in Mr. Pennington's cabin. I'll need to question him once I'm done here. He should still be in the lounge. My little gray cells did not let me down. She was about to reveal who she saw enter the saloon to kill Louise. It's certainly the same person who silenced her before she could speak. Another victory for Poirot, of course. Yes, given the bullet impact behind Mrs. Otterbourne's left ear, the killer must have been to her left. The killer must have fled towards the front of the boat. Otherwise, I would have seen them pass by the door. Who else could have succeeded? The human animal never fails to surprise me. Other animals will run when they hear a shot. With humans, you can never depend on them being so rational. The killer had few ways to escape. I can rule out the possibility that they jumped into the water. Everyone would have heard the splash. I can also rule out the suspects who are at the stern. It's clear the killer fled towards the bow. Therefore, the killer is now either on the upper deck among the present passengers, or they jumped to the lower deck and are hiding there. Precisely. Is that applause I hear?
Please, let me through. I was informed of what happened. It's terrible. My sincere condolences, miss.
Thank you, Captain.
This situation is completely beyond me. What can I do to help, Mr. Poirot?
We need to place Mrs. Otterbourne's body in the cold storage with the others. But most importantly, we must ensure the safety of the other passengers.
I'll see to Mrs. Otterbourne immediately. Tarek, Samir, come help me.
Thank you, Captain. Then please stay on the alert.
Don't you worry. My crew and I will be vigilant.
How is Mr. Doyle?
The fever has worsened, but I've just given him an antibiotic. And Miss Bowers is watching over him. There's nothing more we can do for now.
You can never have too many of these.
Nothing to report, but I'm staying alert.
Aha! A trophy for my collection. Another little treasure for my collection.
You have any news for us?
I'm working on it, madame.
We feel safer here, together.
I just want to go home.
I'd rather be here with everyone than alone in my kitchen, with those bodies piled up in cold storage, so close.
Finally, someone! With this deathly silence, I thought everyone had left. I've been tied up for almost a day. Are you gonna free me soon?
I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry, Monsieur Fleetwood. Your next destination won't be much more pleasant. What did you know? I will uncover it myself. So many dead. Poirot, you must act. Justice will be served. I promise you, madame, I will find your killer. There's Mr. Pennington. What have we here? An interesting discovery. I'm so very sorry, mademoiselle.
She's completely in shock.
Take good care of her, young man. Excellent. Another record for my collection.
Everyone's on edge. I've never experienced anything like this.
Ah, my collection is growing. Mr. Pennington, didn't you hear a gunshot?
I've been thinking about it, yes. I may have. Someone was shot?
Mrs. Otterborn. She's dead.
Mrs. Otterborn? Who on earth would want to shoot that harmless old lady?
Someone who brought a gun aboard. It's your pistol that killed Mrs. Otterborn.
My pistol? Really? Is that an accusation? I haven't moved since the last time we spoke. And anyway, everyone knew I kept a gun in my cabin. I mentioned it at dinner.
It's true. He showed his gun to Mr. Hayashi last night at the restaurant. Everyone saw it and could have stolen it from his cabin, especially since it wasn't particularly well hidden.
Besides, why would I want to kill her?
There is an obvious motive, monsieur. Mrs. Otterborn was killed because she knew who murdered Miss Bourget. She had to die just as she was about to reveal their identity.
So you really think I'm the killer?
I admit, it would be a pleasure to solve this mystery by accusing you. But I know you're not the murderer. Mr. Ferguson was at the end of the deck, near the lounge. Either he saw no one or he's lying. And then he's our murderer, which logically means it's not you. And if he's telling the truth, it proves you didn't leave the lounge. Either way, his testimony clears you.
At last, some sanity. Since you're not the police, would you kindly let me have my pistol back?
I suggest you take better care of it. And do not be so very pleased with yourself, monsieur. You and I are not done yet. I've exhausted all the possible leads I had regarding Mrs. Otterbourne's murder. It's obviously connected to Lynette Doyle. But how? I must return to her death. Solving that will lead me to whomever turned this cruise into a nightmare. With all these tragedies, I have not had a single moment to reflect calmly. I must revisit details, and I know of a good place to start. Tim Allerton gave me a piece of information that seemed trivial to him, but awakened my little grey cells. But before I could investigate, we were interrupted by the death of Miss Bourget. What was it now? Ah, yes. Mr. Allerton told me he heard a splash at 12:26 a.m. near the bow. However, Miss Otterbourne admitted to throwing her mother's bottles overboard at 1:10 a.m. near the stern. 2 splashes, 2 objects thrown into the water last night. I need to find out what the first one was. Perfect. From here, I should be able to dredge up whatever was thrown into the water.
Here you go, sir. I've brought what's needed to dredge the bottom, as you requested.
Thank you very much. Let's get to work. We shouldn't waste any time. I'll guide you. Wonderful. A successful catch indeed. Let's see what treasures you found for us. A can. It must have been down there for years. A worn shoe, falling to pieces. It serves some foot well. A Morse code bracelet. What an odd place to find such a thing. A plastic bottle, thoughtfully tossed overboard by a tourist, no doubt. These colors. I've seen this scarf somewhere before. It has a hole with burn marks on the edges. This handkerchief is quite ordinary, Not expensive. It's stained red. Blood? No. After a night at the bottom of the Nile, the color should have faded. But the stain is still bright red, as if it were just made. It looks more like red ink. Ah, there you are, the infamous revolver of Mr. Belfort, and the presumed murder weapon. Three bullets are missing. 3? I finally know what was thrown at 12:26 a.m. A torn scarf, a stained handkerchief, and Mr. Belfort's revolver with 3 missing bullets. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together.
So, do you know who the killer is, Mr. Poirot?
Almost, Samir. Thanks to this fruitful catch, I can now draw some new conclusions. A certain scoundrel has been laughing at Poirot, but laughter dies swiftly in a hangman's noose. This scarf belongs to Miss Fanchula. It disappeared from the lounge the night before Mrs. Doyle's murder. Given the size of the hole and the burn marks around it, it is clear someone fired a small caliber bullet at this scarf at close range. Who else could have succeeded? According to witness testimonies and my analysis of the crime scene, there were only 2 shots that night. The one fired by Mr. Belfort, which wounded Simon Doyle, and the one that killed Lynette Doyle. Another victory for Poirot, of course. Excellent deduction. Impressive. When I inspected Mrs. Doyle's cabin, I remember seeing a nail polish bottle labeled pink, yet the liquid inside was clearly red. The contents of that bottle deserves a closer look. Precisely. Is that applause I hear? Et voilà. I now have all the facts I need to reconstruct the events of the night Lynette Doyle was murdered. The atmosphere in Madame Doyle's stateroom is thick with tragedy. My memory was correct. This doesn't smell like nail polish at all. Or blood. It's red ink. And with the help of my little glycerins, I will solve the murder of Mrs. Doyle. Samir, would you be so kind as to gather all the passengers in the lounge? As quick as you can.
Everyone? Even Mr. Doyle? In his condition?
Yes. It is absolutely crucial that all the passengers are present. I'm counting on you.
Right away, Mr. Poirot.
Then I arrested Riquetti at the Temple of Abu Simbel. He was injured, so I left him with the local police to get medical care.
I see.
Enough about me. What about you? Have you made progress on Louise's murder? Riquetti claims it wasn't him.
For once, he is telling the truth. He may be a murderer, but he's not our murderer. The best proof is that there was another murder on the boat during your absence. Mrs. Otterborn is dead.
Oh no, that poor lady. Who did it?
I was just about to answer that question. Everyone should be gathered in the lounge. If you wouldn't mind heading there, I'll join you shortly.
All right, I'll go ahead.
I've gathered all the passengers, as you requested.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I see that everyone is here. Even Mr. Doyle.
I hope you have a good reason for moving Mr. Doyle. He is in very bad shape, as I've mentioned more than once, mein Herr.
I'll be fine. I want to hear what Mr. Poirot has discovered about Lynette's murder.
Thank you, monsieur. Now then, when we first began our investigation, we had two hypotheses. The first was that the murder was not premeditated. The killer witnesses the scene between Miss de Belfort and Mr. Doyle, waits for everyone to leave the lounge, grabs the revolver that was under the chair, and shoots Lynette Doyle. The second hypothesis was that the murder had been meticulously premeditated. Correct, Miss Royce?
Correct. Very quickly, we were able to eliminate one of these two hypotheses. The murder was very carefully planned and accurately timed. with all the details meticulously worked out beforehand.
Even to the drugging of my bottle of wine on the night in question. Let us explore the elements that support this hypothesis. Miss Robson had seen Mr. Belfort fire her revolver, had seen Simon Doyle collapse onto a chair, and had seen him clasp a handkerchief to his leg.
That's exactly what I saw.
What had Mr. Hayashi heard and seen? He heard a shot, and he found Doyle with a red-stained handkerchief pressed to his leg.
I can confirm that.
What had happened then? Mr. Doyle had been very insistent that Mr. Belfort should be got away, that she should not be left alone. After that, he suggested that Mr. Hayashi should get hold of the doctor. Accordingly, Miss Robson and Mr. Hayashi go out with Mr. Belfort, and for the next 5 minutes, they are busy on the port side of the deck. Miss Bowers, Dr. Bessner's, and Mr. Belfort's cabins are all on the port side.
So someone had 5 minutes alone to go and kill Mrs. Doyle.
But who?
Simon Doyle.
It is foolish, that. Do you think a man with a fractured bone and a splint on his leg could go walking about the boat and killing people? I tell you, it was impossible for Simon Doyle to leave my cabin.
But yes, the thing seems impossible, but it's nonetheless true. During my investigation, I managed to retrieve Mr. Belfort's revolver, which had been thrown into the water. It was wrapped in a stained handkerchief. To an untrained eye, this stain could have been mistaken for blood. But Hercule Poirot's eyes are not untrained. The stain was in fact red ink contained in one of Mrs. Doyle's bottles of nail polish.
So when Miss Robson and Mr. Hayashi saw Mr. Belfort shoot Mr. Doyle, and he writhed so piteously in pain from his injury, it was all a show. It was all staged. Mr. Doyle used that handkerchief soaked in red ink to make it look like he was bleeding from a bullet in his leg. He managed to fool everyone.
But I carried him. I clearly saw that he was in real pain.
Absolutely correct. He was indeed injured when you carried him.
But you just said that...
Patience, if you please. We're getting to the boldest part of this plan. As I mentioned earlier, after Mr. Belfort fired her shot, Mr. Doyle insisted that Miss Robson and Mr. Hayashi remove her from the lounge. Now he is alone. 2 minutes are all that Simon Doyle needs. He picks up the pistol from under the sofa, runs like a hare silently along the starboard deck, enters his wife's cabin, creeps up to her as she lies asleep, shoots her through the head, puts the bottle that has contained the red ink away, and runs back. But what does he do next? He sits back down in his chair and shoots himself in the leg. That is the moment when he's truly injured.
But what about the gunshot? We should have heard it, just like the first one. I even heard a splash in the water, which makes far less noise.
Well observed, my young friend. Mr. Doyle used an object to muffle the sound of the gunshot. Remember, on the night of the murder, Miss Van Schuler had lost her scarf. In fact, it was Simon Doyle who stole it and hid it under a cushion, setting the stage for his crime.
Scoundrel! How dare you involve me in your nasty schemes?
We fished the scarf, the handkerchief, and Mr. Belfort's revolver from the Nile. As you can see, the scarf has a hole ringed with powder burns, caused by a bullet fired at close range. You, Dr. Bessner, examined Lynette Doyle's body. You will remember that the wound showed signs of scorching. That is to say that the pistol had been placed close against the head before being fired.
So, that is exact.
Now, thanks to this scarf, we know that the gunshot was muffled. This also wasn't the shot that killed Lynette Doyle, because as we also now know that the burn marks on her skin means the gun's barrel was placed very close to her skin with nothing in between. It also could not have been the shot Mr. Belfort fired at Simon Doyle, as no one mentioned anything about it sounding muffled. Given these facts, the conclusion is quite clear. A third shot was fired that night. The third missing bullet from the revolver.
You make it sound so simple and logical.
Because it is, Monsieur Ferguson. Miss Van Schuler's scarf was used to muffle the sound of the gunshot when Mr. Doyle shot himself in the leg.
But that's not the end of the revolver's journey. Mr. Doyle wrapped the revolver in the stained handkerchief, then put everything in the scarf and tossed the bundle out the window into the Nile.
And that's the splash I heard.
Exactly, Mr. Allerton. It required very precise timing, but Monsieur Doyle acted coldly and swiftly, just as he did when he murdered his wife.
You certainly live up to your reputation, Mr. Poirot. Your theories are quite spectacular, but something is bothering me. If I am the villainous murderer who killed his wife, how do you explain the murders of Louise and Mrs. Otterbourne? What fantasies have you cooked up to explain how I could have managed those? And why? According to your theory, I was well and truly injured and bedridden in the care of Dr. Bessner all day. In fact, you're my alibi. I was even in the same room as you when poor Mrs. Otterbourne was killed.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Doyle. I hope you didn't think I was done. Let us move on to the murders of those unfortunate women. You couldn't have killed Miss Bourget and Mrs. Otterbourne, Mr. Doyle. But you're not entirely innocent of their deaths either. Remember when Louise came to testify? When I asked her if she had seen anything the previous night, she gave this curious answer. Naturally, if I had been unable to sleep, if I had mounted the stairs, then perhaps I might have seen this assassin, this monster, enter or leave Madame's cabin. Now, what exactly did that tell us? Miss Bourget lied when she said she saw nothing. She had indeed seen the murderer, Mr. Doyle, enter Lynette's cabin. But instead of coming to me, she preferred to profit from her knowledge. She tried to blackmail Mr. Doyle. She sent her carefully worded message, and he responded, "You'll be quite all right. I'll look after you."
Secret codes now? Really? Ridiculous. And you're still not answering my question. How could I have killed Louise in the saloon when I could barely walk?
It's very simple. If you didn't kill Louise Bourget, then you must have had an accomplice.
An accomplice? Are you accusing me?
This accomplice can be none other than Jacqueline de Belfort.
What?
I beg your pardon? You're insane!
As I say, it was a very cleverly planned and well thought out piece of work. It could not be chance that Simon Doyle had a bottle of red ink in his pocket. No, it must be design. It was not chance that he had a plain unmarked handkerchief with him. It was not chance that Jacqueline de Belfort's foot kicked the pistol under the settee, where it would be out of sight and unremembered until later.
So you truly believe that Miss de Belfort and Mr. Doyle are accomplices?
Certainly, the two halves of the murderer. What gave Simon his alibi? It's the bullet that Miss de Belfort fired into Mr. Doyle's leg that provided him with an alibi. Even if left alone, he wouldn't have been able to crawl to his wife's cabin to kill her. But Miss de Belfort didn't actually hit Mr. Doyle with that shot. He pretended to be injured, so crawling wasn't necessary. Now let's move on to the shooter. What gives Jacqueline de Belfort her alibi? Mr. Doyle was insistent that Miss de Belfort was never to be left alone from the moment of the gunshot until this morning. That gave her a rock-solid alibi for the murder of Mrs. Doyle.
There, between the two of them, you get all the qualities you require. The cool, resourceful planning brain, Jacqueline de Belfort's brain, and the man of action to carry it out with incredible swiftness and timing.
Look at it the right way, and it answers every question. Simon Doyle and Jacqueline had been lovers. Realise that they are still lovers, and it is all clear. Simon does away with his rich wife, inherits her money, and in due course will marry his old love. It was all very ingenious.
The persecution of Mrs. Doyle by Jacqueline, all part of the plan. Simon's pretended rage. Then one night, on this boat, I thought I heard Simon and Lynette outside my cabin. He was saying, "We've got to go through with it now." It was Doyle, all right, but it was to Jacqueline he was speaking. The final drama was perfectly planned and timed. There was a sleeping draught for me, in case I might put an inconvenient finger in the pie. There was the selection of Miss Robson as a witness, the working up of the scene, Miss de Belfort's exaggerated remorse and frenzies. She made a good deal of noise in case the shot should be heard. In truth, it was an extraordinarily clever idea. Jacqueline says she shot Doyle. Miss Robson says so. Mr. Hayashi says so. And when Simon's leg is examined, he has indeed been shot. It looks unanswerable. For both of them, there is a perfect alibi. At the cost, it is true, of a certain amount of pain and risk to Simon Doyle. But it is necessary that his wound should definitely disable him. But then, the plan goes wrong. Someone sees Mr. Doyle enter his wife's cabin. Louise Bourget has been wakeful. She has come up the stairway, and she has seen Simon Doyle run along to his wife's cabin and come back. So she makes her greedy bid for hush money and, in so doing, signs her death warrant.
But Mr. Doyle couldn't have killed her.
No. The other partner did that murder. As soon as he could, Simon Doyle asks to see Jacqueline. He even asks me to leave them alone together. He tells her of the new danger. They must act at once. He knows where Bessner's scalpels are kept. And still, all is not well. For Mrs. Otterbourne has seen Jacqueline go to the saloon, and she comes hot-foot to tell Simon about it. Jacqueline is the murderess. Do you remember how Simon shouted at the poor woman? Nerves, we thought. But the door was open, and he was trying to convey the danger to his accomplice. She heard, and she acted like lightning. She remembered Pennington had talked about a revolver. She got hold of it, crept up outside the door, listened, and at the critical moment, fired. She boasted once that she was a good shot, and her boast was not an idle one. I remarked, after that third crime, that there were 3 ways the murderer could have gone. I meant that he could have gone aft, in which case Ferguson was the criminal. He could have gone over the side, very improbable. Or he could have gone into a cabin. Jacqueline's cabin was just 2 away from Dr. Bessner's. She had only to throw down the revolver and bolt into the cabin. It was risky, but it was the only possible chance.
So you killed my mother, you filthy witch!
Rosalie, no. I understand, but attacking her isn't the answer. Come on. How can you listen to the ramblings of this old fool? His entire grand theory is based on the fancies he's made up out of whole cloth, without a shred of evidence.
You might hope it is so, young man. You insist more proof is needed? You hope Poirot is a doddering old fool? Then by all means, let's allow someone else to dodder some. Miss Royce, if you would.
With pleasure. The irrefutable proof is tiny, but look here. You can see that the wood is damaged, and the bullet that caused it is still lodged in the hole. I'm sure forensics will prove that it's a .22 caliber cartridge fired from the murder weapon. This is the bullet Mr. Belfour shot at Simon Doyle. It ended up in the wall, not in his leg.
Damn you! Damn you both! Our plan was perfect! It took 2 meddling detectives to work it out. Jackie and I were going to be rich and happy. We deserved it!
And we derive the penalty for our failure. Simon, darling, let me speak. You were too clever for us, Mr. Poirot. That night, at Aswan, you told me not to open my heart to evil. Did you realize then what was in my mind?
I only knew that what I said was true.
It was true I could have stopped then, you know. I nearly did. I could have told Simon that I wouldn't go on with it. But then perhaps... Would you like to hear about it? From the beginning?
If you care to tell me, mademoiselle.
It was all very simple, really. You see, Simon and I loved each other.
And for you, love would have been enough. But not for him.
You might put it that way, perhaps. Simon always wanted money so dreadfully, and all the same, he never tried to marry anybody rich and horrid. He wasn't that sort. And then we met. Our love was obvious from the first glance. We were broke, but we wanted to get married. There we were, up against it. And then I thought of Lynette. It might make all the difference to me and Simon if she'd give him a job. It was about then that you saw us that night at Chez Ma Tante. You know, Mr. Poirot, I loved Lynette, really I did. She was my best friend, and I never dreamed that anything would ever come between us. But she went all out to get Simon away from me. I don't think she even hesitated for more than about a minute. I was her friend, but she didn't care. She just went bald-headed for Simon. That's why I'm not really sorry about her, even now. And Simon didn't care a damn about her. But he did like the thought of her money. Of course I saw that. And at last I suggested to him that it might be a good thing if he got rid of me and married Lynette. But he scouted the idea. He said, money or no money, it would be hell to be married to her. He said his idea of having money was to have it himself. He talked about it a good deal one way and another, about how convenient it would be if Lynette died. I said it was an awful idea, and then he shut up about it. After a bit, I saw that he'd made up his mind, and I was terrified. Simply terrified. Because you see, I realized that he'd never pull it off. He'd have no kind of subtlety about it. And he's got no imagination. So I had to come into it too, to look after him. I thought and I thought, trying to work out a plan. It seemed to me that the basis of the idea ought to be a kind of two-handed alibi. You know, Simon and I could somehow or other give evidence against each other, but actually that evidence would clear us of everything. It would be easy enough for me to pretend to hate Simon. It was quite a likely thing to happen under the circumstances. Then, if Lynette was killed, I should probably be suspected. So it would be better if I was suspected right away. We worked out details little by little. Even then, Simon went and wrote a J in blood, which was a silly, melodramatic thing to do. It's just the sort of thing he would think of. But it all went off fine. And then there was Louise.
Yes. It was not your fault that Louise Bourget could not sleep that night.
That miserable Frenchwoman tried to blackmail us. I pretended to grovel. I took her all the money we could get hold of. And then, when she was counting the money, I did it. It was quite easy. That's what's so horribly frightening about it. It's so terribly easy. And even then, we weren't safe. Mrs. Otterbourne had seen me. I'd no time to think. I just acted like a flash. It was almost exciting.
Love can be a very frightening thing.
That is why most great love stories are tragedies. Don't mind so much for me, Monsieur Poirot. After all, I've always lived hard, you know.
Jackie, I ruined everything. I'm sorry for it all, my love. If I had known all this before,
It's all right, Simon. A fool's game, and we've lost. That's all.
Look out! She took my gun!
Adieu, mon amour.
No!
Us won at last. Still trying to absorb one shock after another. And how are we greeted upon our arrival? A day of police interrogation. We didn't reach the hotel until now.
Oh, my feet are killing me. My back. The police might as well have beaten me. What brutes. Oh, those embarrassing personal questions, as if I were a criminal when we already know the truth.
Yes, the police could have simply relied on Monsieur Poirot's explanations. It would have saved us from wasting our entire day at the police station.
Fortunately, we're leaving tomorrow. They won't be seeing me in Egypt again anytime soon, I can tell you that.
Thank you for assisting me with the official statement to the police today, Miss Royce. Repeating it all for the police requires great patience.
I agree with you on that, Mr. Poirot. But I enjoyed the expressions on their faces as you explained the facts. It was my pleasure. At any rate, I understand we won't have to return there tomorrow.
No, the Egyptian police can take over from here. The narrative I provided seems to satisfy them. The case will be officially closed.
My God, I'm so hungry.
Then let's eat. All this excitement has made me quite hungry as well, my boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, your dinner is ready to be served. If you would kindly proceed to the terrace, everything has been arranged.
Waiter, another glass, if you please. Care to have another one with me, my friend?
I'm afraid I don't drink as fast as you, Mr. Pennington. My glass is still only half full.
Oh, no. That's half empty. It must be refilled.
What is the reason for all of this enthusiasm?
It's because I'm celebrating. You're talking to the richest man in England. This trip has been the most lucrative of my career.
If it is not impolite to ask, what are you going to do when you return to England, Miss Rice?
I'm not taking on any new cases right away. There's more I need to know about Emmy's murderers. I'm going to dig deeper into the Spire organization.
A task very dangerous, I think. Do you have any idea where you will start?
Yes, Richetti had a satchel containing some documents. I haven't had the time to look through them until now, but I'm hoping they'll give me some leads.
It is a big case you're tackling, Miss Royce. A dangerous one. I wish you the best of luck. Please keep me informed. And if there is anything I can do, please just ask.
Waiter! Actually, just bring me the bottle. That'll be quicker.
Good night, Miss Royce.
Good night.
Miss Royce, come join me. I tire of my book. You wouldn't be up for a game of chess, would you?
How did you know I played? No, never mind. I'm sure your little grey cells told you. I probably won't be able to give you much of a match, but I'd be delighted.
So, the documents from Richetti, did you find anything?
An interior motive for the invitation. Nothing particularly interesting.
Do not be discouraged. I find chess helps clear my mind. It may help you too. You may play white.
And here we go.
Checkmate.
I didn't have much hope of beating you, but I enjoyed the match.
Don't be modest. You keep me on my toes. Since I won, will you grant me a question that's been intriguing me for months?
You've earned it. Go ahead.
When we first met at the club Chez Ma Tante, how did you know that it was Joanna Southwood who had stolen the engagement ring? To me, the only explanation would be that you saw her.
Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most likely. That's right. I saw Joanna come out of the storage room with the ring.
Et voilà. Sometimes the solution is as simple as that.
Quick! Help! There's someone floating in the pool!
Oh no! Who is it?
It's Mr. Pennington! I checked his pulse. He's dead.
He drowned? This is horrible. What a tragic accident.
A rather odd accident, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean? The man had been drinking non-stop. Wait, You're not seriously suggesting this could be another murder, are you? Not here? My God. That would be a nightmare for the hotel's reputation. Mr. Poirot, we can't call the police. If they come, it will cause chaos. We'll have to close down. Please, Mr. Poirot, I am begging you. Can you help?
I will see what I can find. But the police must be called when I tell you.
As soon as you give the word, Mr. Poirot, you have my word.
Like some help?
Thank you, Miss Royce. But what I do now, it is not precisely correct. If there is blame, I would prefer it land on me alone.
Okay, but I can at least get Dr. Bessner to examine the body.
Thank you again, Mr. Poirot. I'll head back to the front desk and keep the guests and our staff from the pool area.
And unfortunately, thanks to the receptionist, news of Pennington's death will be all over the hotel. Very well, Poirot. One day you must learn to say no. But for now, you had better examine the scene. Well, Mr. Pennington, it seems you will not be able to enjoy the newly acquired wealth you were boasting about to all who could hear.
Another death? It's a nightmare. I thought the tragedies would end once we left the boat. You haven't touched anything, have you?
You ask this of Hercule Poirot, Doctor?
Oh, all right. Apologies. But I'll have to pull him out of the water to examine him. Let's have a look at things. I can confirm that he is dead. No big surprise there. Time of death? Exact time complicated by the pool, which is heated. A more thorough examination will help. But he can't have been floating here long, unnoticed, with all the hotel guests and staff. Would you mind comparing your observations with mine?
With pleasure. No signs of a struggle on the hands.
Indeed. Not conclusive.
I see an open wound at the back of the head, and there is blood on the edge of the pool, suggesting the victim's head hit the edge of the pool, causing the fracture.
Yes, causing severe head trauma. So, in your opinion, did Mr. Pennington drown?
If he had drowned, the body would have sunk due to water entering his lungs just before death. So, the fact that he is floating tells us there is still air in his lungs, not water. So he did not die by drowning.
Exactly. I reached the same conclusion. The location is not ideal, but I'll continue my examination and make certain no one disturbs the body.
Thank you for your observations and for keeping watch over the body. Another moustache to cherish. A container of coarse salt for replacing chlorine in swimming pool water. A pool net. What do we have here? A small stain. Possibly blood. This bottle is unreachable for the moment. Another bottle of alcohol at the bottom of the pool. Another moustache to cherish. With all these bottles and the quantity of alcohol I saw him drink at the table, he must have been quite intoxicated. An empty champagne bottle? Can one human being truly consume that much alcohol? Well done. I found it. Well done, that's correct. Fantastic. Why not? For now, it appears the victim was attacked and fell into the pool, striking the back of his head, resulting in his death. This scenario seems to be the most plausible one. An attack perhaps not premeditated, but it's certain that Pennington's death was not accidental. It seems my work in Egypt is not complete. There is a murderer in this hotel. Another victory for Poirot, of course. The only way to access the pool is by way of the terrace. I spent almost the entire evening sitting facing the terrace entrance. I should be able to remember who came in and out to create an initial list of witnesses and suspects. I should go back to where I was sitting earlier to help jog my memory. What have we here? An interesting discovery. Excellent. Another record for my collection. Come to me, shiny mustache. thought you could escape me. You were wrong. Another moustache to cherish. I must remember if I saw people coming or going from the terrace at the time. I now know who the suspects are. Miss Royce, Mr. Ferguson, Tim Allerton, Rosalie Otterborn, Mr. Hayashi, and Miss Bowers. I need to interrogate them. Mr. Allerton? Well, Tim Allerton isn't in his room. Good evening. Sorry to disturb you at this late hour.
Not a problem, Mr. Poirot. As you can see, I wasn't asleep. Is there something wrong?
May I come in?
Well, as you wish.
Good evening, Monsieur Poirot.
Good evening. I apologize for interrupting. I'm afraid I bear more bad news. Mr. Pennington is dead.
My God.
Another death? Will this madness never end?
How are you holding up, miss?
I confess I'm terrified. Tim has been looking after me.
That's good of you, Mr. Allerton.
I'm doing what I can.
Could you both tell me about your evening?
It's simple. We've been together all evening.
After dinner, we went for a walk in the garden.
Did you see Mr. Pennington there?
Yes, he was alone by the pool, gulping down something alcoholic.
We came back inside around 8 p.m. It was starting to get cold.
Did you go out again?
Yes, around 9:30 p.m. We relaxed in the amphitheater for half an hour or so. These desert nights can be sweltering. Then we came back inside.
And Mr. Pennington, did you see him during your time there?
I'm afraid I was only paying attention to this lady here.
Mr. Pennington wasn't there anymore.
Are you sure? By the pool, perhaps?
Absolutely certain. I didn't see anyone by the pool either, going or coming back.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Hayashi.
Monsieur Poirot, what brings you here?
More sad news, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, Mr. Pennington has died.
Another murder? But surely you caught the murderers. How many can there be?
Oh, in my experience, you never can tell.
I assume you want to question me. Would you like to come in?
Thank you. I understand that you didn't have much affection for Pennington.
That's true, but to be glad about his death? No, that is not who I am.
Can you tell me what you did this evening?
After dinner, I went to chat with Miss Bowers in the amphitheater. Miss Bowers left, but I stayed for a while. Mr. Pennington was still there. I went back to my room around 8:30 p.m. Then I went back around 10:30 p.m., and there was no one outside. I went back to my room a few minutes later. I haven't moved from here since.
Thank you for your testimony.
At your service.
Come to Poirot, my little wonder. He didn't even unpack his things, too eager to celebrate his literal good fortune. Clearly, the room was prepared by the hotel staff, but Pennington never set foot in his room. Found another one. It was easy. Good evening. Am I disturbing you?
I was analysing Ricchetti's documents. I could use a break.
It won't take long. Do you need help with your analysis?
That's kind of you, but I need to do it alone if I'm going to remember everything.
I understand. Even the little grey cells can't hold everything. You spent most of the evening with me, but you were on the terrace before I arrived. I thought you might have seen something, even if it didn't seem important at the time.
No, I've thought back, but no luck. Mr. Ferguson arrived just a little after me. We just quickly shared a cigarette together.
And before that?
Before 9 p.m, I was in my room working on Ricchetti's files.
Then you joined me. I see.
That's right. I'm sorry, I hope it helps you a little.
Who can tell? I'll let you get back to your work. If I want to question Miss Bowers, she's outside on the terrace. Dr. Bessner is outside by the pool, guarding Pennington's body. Good evening, Mr. Ferguson. Would you mind? I have a few questions regarding your schedule for this evening.
I've already been questioned all day by the police. Is this really necessary?
Unfortunately, yes. Mr. Pennington has been found dead here in the hotel this evening.
Good God. Well, all his money won't do him any good where he is now, will it?
I'm not interested in a character endorsement, monsieur. What do you plan to do after Egypt?
I was thinking of, well, returning to my family.
You've never mentioned your family.
We're not very close, my family and I, but this time returning to England, the Virginia Water area. Do you know it?
Ah, Virginia Water. In Runnymede? Quite lovely, I believe. You come from more affluent origins than you let on. Tell me about your evening.
My evening? Well, after dinner, I stayed at my table for a while to enjoy that view one last time. After a while, I'd say around 8:30 p.m., I went back to my room.
Did you see anyone outside at that time?
I remember seeing Tim and Rosalie taking a stroll. Pennington was guzzling something down by the pool. Oh, and Hayashi and Mrs. Allerton were chatting in the amphitheater.
And then?
Around 9:10 p.m., I wanted to smoke. I realized I'd forgotten my cigarettes at my table. So I went back down and ran into Miss Royce. She borrowed a cigarette from me. We smoked together, chatted, and she's quite a remarkable woman. Then we went back inside.
How long did you stay there?
Just enough time for a cigarette, about 10 minutes at most. After that, I didn't leave my room again.
And Mr. Pennington, did you see him while you were smoking?
No, we were leaning against the railing facing the pool. There wasn't a soul outside.
Very well. Thank you.
Is your investigation progressing, sir? You're concluding it was an accident? Can we call the police?
Not yet, my friend. I'm sorry. You were at the reception desk tonight? You must have seen all the comings and goings of the guests, correct?
Unfortunately, not all the time. After dinner, I had to deal with a small water leak in room 111. I came back down around 9 p.m., and then I was at my post. You arrived just after my return and played chess with Miss Royce. I probably didn't see much more than you did.
Well, Poirot, you knew it wasn't going to be that easy. Miss Bowers, may I have a word with you?
Of course, Monsieur Poirot. How can I help you?
I'm investigating. How are you? Not too shaken up?
After our trip up the Nile, I think I'm immune to the shakes.
Can you tell me about your evening?
Of course. After dinner, Mr. Hayashi and I spent some time chatting in the amphitheater. When I went back to my room, it must have been around 8 p.m., and Mr. Pennington was drunk, or so I thought, lying in a deck chair by the pool, clearly inebriated. A little later, I heard him yelling at someone from my room. I had my window open, you see. He was hurling insults, but I couldn't hear what the other person was saying. Then there was a splash, like someone diving in or falling into the water. Pennington continued shouting threats.
Threats?
I'm going to kill you. You don't know who you're dealing with. That sort of thing. He sounded furious.
And then? What else did you hear?
After a few minutes, once he calmed down, nothing else. Everything seemed normal until I decided to go back outside around 10:40 p.m. or so. That's when I found Pennington floating in the pool and rushed back in to inform you.
A fight? So he was still alive when he fell or was pushed into the pool. Thank you, Miss Bowers. Someone is lying. With the elements I have, the time of death is between 10 p.m. and 10:40 p.m. Bowers is definitely innocent because she didn't have the time to kill Pennington. If it were Miss Royce, Mr. Ferguson, Tim Allerton, or Rosalie Otterborn who had lied, Mr. Hayashi would have had to find the body floating. However, he claims to have seen nothing. So since he is the last one to say he saw nothing, he must be lying. Who else could have succeeded?
Come in.
Can you tell me what you did this evening?
After dinner, I went to chat with Miss Bowers in the amphitheater. Miss Bowers left, but I stayed for a while. Mr. Pennington was still there. I went back to my room around 8:30 p.m. Then I went back around 10:30 p.m., and there was no one outside. I went back to my room a few minutes later. I haven't moved from here since.
Something isn't right. Sir, you are lying to me.
Sir, I am not.
You claim to have seen nothing when you went out at 10:30 p.m. However, you are the last person to have gone out before Miss Bowers found Pennington's body 5 minutes later.
But if I didn't see anything and Bowers tells you she discovered the body, why aren't you accusing her?
Because she was outside for less than a minute. It would have been impossible for her to kill him and then come back in. Why would she lie to me?
I killed him. I knew it. I never wanted it to happen like this. I feel so guilty.
Calm down, Mr. Hayashi. Give me everything from the beginning, and do it calmly.
As I told you, Miss Bowers went back before me. But when I finally decided to head back up, Pennington started picking a fight with me. He was completely drunk, spouting rambling nonsense that I could barely understand. And the last thing I wanted was to put up with it.
So, it was you that Miss Bowers heard from her room.
At one point, he lost it and started to physically attack me. I pushed him away, perhaps a bit too violently. He fell into the pool. He was thrashing around in the water, insulting me and threatening me. I admit that the situation amused me, and I left him in the water. I went back to my room. He was still yelling when I left. I just thought he would get back out on his own. But in reality, he drowned.
Are you sure he was alive when you left him?
Yes, but around 10 p.m., I started having doubts and felt a little worried, given how drunk he was. I went back down to check if he was okay, and I found him floating in the pool. Because of me, he'd been there for hours. When I realized he was dead, I panicked and I went back up to my room.
Even though he seems honest when telling his story, some things don't add up with what I've discovered. Let's go over his testimony again. That doesn't match with what I know. Mr. Hayashi, you told me that Pennington drowned. I can assure you that he died from hitting his head on the edge of the pool.
I don't understand. He didn't hit his head. I pushed him into the water.
And there's more. That doesn't align itself with what I know. Mr. Hayashi, you think you left Mr. Pennington dead in the pool for hours. But if that were the case, several people would have seen him between the time you pushed him and the moment you found him. However, I have no testimony that supports this.
I'm lost. What are you implying? That I killed him when I went back the second time?
I'm not implying anything. I'm stating facts.
I'm telling you again. At 10:30 p.m., he was already dead. When I saw him, I tried to turn him over to check his pulse, but it was already too late. I remember the bottles he had put in his jacket fell into the water. I got scared. I put him back the way I found him and ran away. That's the absolute truth.
A moment, please. Bottles? What bottles?
He had been drinking the whole evening. He was so drunk that he even put 2 empty champagne bottles in his jacket.
But why didn't you tell me that earlier?
I don't know, because I didn't think it mattered, I suppose.
Ugh.
But come on, Mr. Poirot. What difference does it make that he had bottles in his jacket? He was drunk.
Mr. Hayashi, it changes absolutely everything.
Does that mean you believe me?
It would be different if I didn't, but time will tell. I'm going to need that. Here we are, fishing again. This is the bottle Mr. Hayashi mentioned. Let's see what it can tell me. There's a white residue at the bottom. It's salt, without a doubt. Congratulations. Bottles filled with salt were used as weights to sink the body. The salt took a long time to dissolve in the water. Once it had almost completely dissolved, the body resurfaced. Who is the world's greatest detective? That explains why several witnesses didn't see Mr. Pennington around the pool. And more importantly, it changes the time of death that I had estimated between 10 p.m. and 10:40 p.m. Precisely. Is that applause I hear? So, Mr. Pennington was killed after Mr. Hayashi argued with him. But before, I was in the lobby and witnessed the comings and goings on the terrace. Who else could have succeeded? What a clever plan. This murderer is no amateur. With this new perspective, I no longer have any witnesses or alibis at the time of the crime. I'm back to square one.
Ah, Mr. Poirot, I was looking for you.
Voila, you have found me.
I remembered what Pennington said to me during our argument.
I'm listening.
At the time when he threatened to kill me, I didn't understand, but the more I think about it, the more I believe it's important.
Tell me everything.
He said to me, "Stop sticking your nose in my business. You're lucky Riquetti isn't around anymore. He would have taken care of you. Well, it seems like Pennington and Riquetti knew each other, doesn't it?
It does, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Hayashi.
Glad to have helped you.
Pennington murdered. Pennington and Riquetti knew each other. The clues are coming together. Miss Royce, are you here? Door open, room empty. Something's wrong. Something has happened. I should inspect the room. Clock is broken. Stopped at 8:53 p.m. This lamp has been put back in place, but it must have fallen to the floor. This document must have come from Riquetti's satchel. But where is the rest? And where is the satchel? Miss Royce taped some things to the wall. Evidence cards, clues. What did she discover? Correct. Score 1 for the forces of good. That's fair. Excellent deduction. You know, Miss Royce, the last time I spoke to someone on this bench, she had the same sad and defeated look.
It's a good place to reflect.
I'm not used to giving compliments, but you are an excellent detective. Your help was invaluable in unmasking Jacqueline de Belfort and Simon Doyle. I thank you again.
It was a privilege to work with you, Mr. Poirot. You are undoubtedly the best detective I have ever known.
And yet, there are days like today when I would rather not be.
I really hoped I could spare you this moment.
You neatly threw me off the scent. The idea of the salt bottles was quite clever. Truly clever and executed perfectly. It required Mr. Hayashi to remember the bottle stuck in the victim's jacket. Even then, only an outstanding detective could grasp the critical importance of this detail in the investigation. Delaying the discovery of the body, very ingenious. I long believed that the death occurred just before the body was found. You made it seem like the murder occurred much later, thereby creating a rock-solid alibi for yourself at the time of the body's discovery. One must appreciate the irony, as it was I who inadvertently provided you with that alibi by inviting you to play chess. But I suppose you wouldn't have had any trouble finding another way. And you also needed someone who could testify that the pool was empty when you were there. After sinking the body, you deliberately waited for someone to come out onto the terrace. That was Ferguson. You made sure he saw that the pool was empty. By leaving an empty bottle at the top of the stairs by the dock, you hoped to make it seem like Pennington had gone down to the docks by himself all along. But ultimately, your presence on the terrace before Ferguson's arrival worked against you. Once the hypothesis of a death at 10 p.m. was ruled out, you became my primary suspect by default. You know, the how in a murder is important. But for me, the key point is why. Why kill Pennington? When I found your room door open, I almost wondered if you had done it on purpose. And everything became clear when it dawned on me that you had ransacked the room yourself. My theory is that you discovered something in Ricchetti's papers that made you furious. But I couldn't verify it because you made the documents disappear. I imagine that they must now be at the bottom of the Nile, along with Ricchetti's satchel. The river bottom was a very popular dumping ground throughout this case. My belief is that you discovered Pennington was connected to Emmy's murder. And that drove you into a rage.
That bastard. He was the one who ordered Ricchetti to kill my Emmy. When I realized that, I lost it.
Explain to me what happened.
Don't try to humor me, Mr. Poirot. I know very well you've already figured it out.
Perhaps. But I'd like to hear it from your perspective, if you would indulge me.
Very well. When I realized, I lost it. I turned my room upside down, ripped everything apart. I stormed downstairs to find Pennington. He was completely drunk and laughed in my face, mocking Emmy when I confronted him. He said I could never prove it. But of course, it was never my intent to prove it. I pushed him with all my strength. He fell on the edge of the pool and that was it. Flesh hitting concrete.
It's a shame he came to that.
I'm sorry. I could say I never meant to kill him, but in truth, I don't regret my actions. I suppose you're going to turn me into the police now?
Indeed. You know I have to.
And what if I decided to deny everything? After all, you have no physical evidence.
When your clothes are tested, I'm confident they will find pool salt residue. And of course, they will have Poirot as a witness for the prosecution.
You are something else, Mr. Poirot. In any case, I don't intend to deny it. I will tell everything to the police. I've made peace with myself. Emmy is avenged. That's all that matters.